All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna call this meeting to order. First order of business, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first order of, or second order of business, I'm out of order of businesses, minutes of the regular session from November 21st. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second vote?
Yes.
Yes. Public comment period, Brookside.
Sleigh rides this Saturday, event starts at 5:30. If we could have the officer there around 5:15 to lead the sleighs, that would be great.
I believe they plan on being there and ready by 5.
Okay,
If
perfect.
Bobby was talking about.
So are the horses leading the,
They can if you want. I know, the Mountain View to be there, so will Doc.
okay,
So
Gotcha.
this is Doc's last event.
yeah.
Worthington Hills.
There's not going to be any sleigh rides this year. Bridge came over to the hill. And we are meeting, they have a board meeting here on the 7th.
Yes.
Wednesday, so I'll be here to let them in and lock up. That's it, they'll be going through their annual budget at that meeting, and more details to come. I think they want to add a couple of events.
Epcon and Ravello.
Nothing, but you want to say anything about? Yeah, okay. Okay. No, nothing.
Zoning. Looking for.
Oh,
Supposed to be approved.
yeah, motion to approve the hiring of Keith Hamilton at a rate of $25 per hour to serve as a part-time zoning inspector for the December start date of December 19th. Includes a 1-year probationary period.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Vote?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And then your pack is a monthly Franklin County voting report.
Mr. Chair, you have a.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you come in.
That's okay.
We just missed our public comment period. Do you want to?
I'm just here to observe.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Nothing under development director, down the road department.
All I have is my leaf report. It's in the drop boxes there. The chart just shows the last 5 years. Leaf seasons by day on the chart. Any of the dates that other than this year in blue that are above the 10 load mark are either days that were in Brookside on Merwin. 2018 in the red, we worked a lot of overtime. A lot of late days, that's where it went over. This year we got 257 loads. Roughly 3,928 cubic yards which is right on average for a year. One good, did 9 passes. Very minimal equipment issues. It went real good.
Cool.
You're happy to be done.
I am. I mean, this has been one of the.
Wait, you're
That's a
done?
hard
We
one.
are done. We are done. Boxes are dropped. And trees are down.
Allegedly.
I'm bagging it out. I'm bagging it from here on out. So.
Be careful. I know the zoning guy.
Oh, the
He's
pickup
tough.
for lease started up too. I mean, in the bags.
Yeah, I know.
It's irresponsible.
I know. I've never had one circle the green.
Oh, we've got a special trunk.
It's automated. It just keeps running.
Yeah. They can zoom by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lease zoom by.
You want to say anything about the AT&T project?
AT&T is working on Candlewood. It's been kind of a headache. They've been in and out of the easement in residence yards. I'm meeting with the contractor ClearSpan tomorrow and their subcontractor. We'll check my meeting with them to discuss restoration. They're hopefully done with the project. The install, it's more to get it all restored. And
Is that just more fiber in that
it's
area?
the AT&T fiber overbuild.
Okay.
That's what they called it.
Just think that
They've
it's okay
snuck
to-
in with no plan. No plans, no right of way permit for the work they're at, they've been doing. On the side, there's about 200 feet where they're out of the easement.
No kidding.
Where- And it's clearly that one of the homeowners in the Columbus side clearly marked the easement, his pin is there. Gave the contractors the plot, showed them the easement, and they did get back in, but there's his neighbor and part of his yard where it's outside that line.
So I know there were issues. I don't know if it was ClearSpan that was running it, because they're doing the overbuild behind McVeigh as well. Like up against the train tracks,
Yeah, is
and
that,
they cut a tree down and took wires down and, I'm not saying they're out of the easement. I don't know if it was the same vendor, but I know it's for the AT&T overbuild as well.
yeah, I can't remember the vendor over there. The
But there's
along those
been
railroad
consistent-
tracks, there's
Yeah,
quite a bit more easement through there.
yeah,
So,
other than when they take trees down that fall into the residence yard.
well, was that the one that was on Snopper? Where
No.
they did the walk path, because
No, this was further down by McVeigh West.
I was gonna say it's further south.
But my point, there's been some ongoing
That's a different,
issues with.
that's a
the
different
vendor.
contractor than the one we're doing.
yeah, I don't know which one it is.
So aren't they considered a public utility?
Yes, they are.
Yes,
So if they don't have any easements and they don't have any permits, they don't have anything, so who controls them?
They have easements,
they have easements.
they don't have
No.
permits.
But
They
they
don't
don't, I
have
mean,
a
but
right of way
who's,
for-
And they're outside of the easement.
right, so, but who's,
That would be us in the county for the right of way. They're already under Beach Lake
right,
where they crossed over. I mean, we could make them pull it out. Then they're gonna go get the right of way
right,
permit and redo it.
right,
Now where they're outside of the easement on the Columbus section, that resident has all the right to tell them to pull that 200 feet out and
Right.
redo it.
You were in contact with Steve Buzzkirk over at the county.
Yes, I
too,
talked to him
so-
this morning.
Get called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum establish a fund to. For restoration, or, a commitment to restore
right.
to peak up.
Well, you have to, I mean, if they're outside, I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want within the easement, but outside. I mean,
Yeah, and it sounds like they are willing, they're going to work on restoration. They talked today about cutting the sod, raising it where they've rutted, and then patching the spots where the grass, the turf's been torn up. But the problem, I mean, they can plant seed right now, it won't come in,
Right.
and then it's 50-50 shot it takes in the winter, so, or some spring.
yeah, it's. If you tell them that they gotta come back in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
in
Oh,
fact,
definitely.
Or, yeah, we told them, listen, there's no time now to be doing restoration, that's not gonna work. You have to at least come back in the spring to get something on the
Yes.
poles. Our concern is that AT&T's history about restoration has not been that great.
Right.
And so I think we need to formalize it.
Yeah.
With them.
Steve Buzzkirk gave me the local AT&T contact for these projects here in Columbus. He's out of the office until next Monday. I will make sure to follow up with him next week.
And let me know if you run into any issues. since I talk to that group on a daily basis.
Will do.
Okay.
Is there any update on Lockwood when they're gonna start circling the green?
I have not heard anything on it.
When the time's right, I want to kind of we have a neighborhood web, email exchange. I just want to kind of update everybody when the time's right and maybe give them the drawings and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know the final plans were submitted with the recommended changes by the county. I haven't seen that they've been approved yet. The county's been requesting the agreement, the resurfacing agreement, kind of waiting on the county to give us those quotes for resurfacing.
Or whatever that's not finalized.
So they'll do it.
Announce it. I just want to
Yeah.
tell people, hey, heads up, you're gonna see this in what, February probably.
So they'll do a pre-construction meeting.
They will do a pre-construction meeting.
Can we make sure that Mr. Roper's aware of that pre-construction meeting?
Will do.
Just to listen in and maybe that'll go over.
I mean, I know it's your
timelines and
department and
everything.
stuff, but I just want to be able to tell the people on the street that,
And
just a heads up what's going on.
Let's work with Jeff LaRue. I mean, if come up with some language that we can all agree upon about what the project is. Timelines, what the expectations are, who to contact, and then we can give that to Mr. Roper and say,
will do.
here, because they have a great connection. With just those are only very close.
The plans, one of the plan notes that was added was they are required to give us a weekly scheduled progress. That was added into their plans. So we can hold them to
The
that.
last thing I saw, it looks like it's all on one side of the street.
It's gonna be all on one side.
It's like the outside of the circle, sort of.
So is the intent to post that on our website with the updates? Residents get pointed there, is that?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to just tell them at some point, so, I mean, I
Sure.
know tons of people there and I always hand out the calendars to like,
Well, and we've,
we're having a neighborhood, Christmas party. And I know some people are gonna ask about it, but that's not for another like 2 weeks, but I'll just say, you're gonna get, everybody's gonna get a little notice about it, you'll see what's going on, it's gonna start in February, I think, right?
that's what the initial plan was, and then 120 days. If I'm remembering correctly, was what Aqua wanted. The county, one of their notes was 120 days, they think is excessive. For this size of project, they wanted to try to keep it under 90.
Okay.
But there, I do plan on putting construction signs throughout Circle and the Green. Luke has made up like a QR code, so
Okay.
residents can scan that. I can also give you that, so you can pass it out or email it to.
Yeah, this is something that I could shoot around and just, that's all.
I'll get you whatever I can.
Perfect.
Let's give it to Mary.
You know, that's like,
I know it's cute.
all right. Anything else, road department?
That's all I have.
All right, fire and mess.
Nothing at this time, but just a quick note, a little something different. The Worthington Police Chief is retiring as of December 12th, I think it is. So I haven't heard if they're looking at someone outside or inside or what they're gonna do.
Police department.
One thing that's not on my agenda, the retention grant that we talked about, because the paperwork has come through. This needs signed by the chairman of the board, so we can accept the grant. If you would, please.
This was more or less an allocation grant, correct? This is the salary.
Yes, yeah, this is the retention side.
Is.
Then looking for a motion to promote Sergeant Mike Conkle the rank of operations, full-time operations lieutenant, effective January 1st of next year at a rate of $49.20 per hour, which includes a 3% wage increase and also includes a 1-year probationary period.
Make that motion.
Okay.
Vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for a motion to, give me the authorization to promote Julie Rice to the rank of sergeant effective January 1st, 2023, at a rate of $47.66 per hour, which includes the 3% wage increase, a one-year probationary period contingent on her acceptance of the new position. She has been on vacation the last few weeks out of the country. And on our list, she is number 2, and I don't know of any reason she will not accept it, but I won't be able to answer that fully until tomorrow when she's back to work.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
Next is a motion to promote Sergeant Robert Forsythe to the rank of part-time administrative lieutenant effective January 1st, 2023, at a rate of $33.51 an hour, which includes a 3% wage increase and a one-year probationary period.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
And lastly, in the Dropbox is the Detective Bureau case report. That lists out the cases that are being investigated and so forth, if you have any questions. Thanks to Luke, we've been putting together a monthly stat for the police department, and this is something else we'll add to it. We're just trying to get them together, but we weren't able to get the stat. It'll be ready next meeting.
What now?
The monthly stat. for the
Oh,
police
okay.
department. We weren't able to get that done, but we'll get it second
The
meeting.
Charlie's around.
Yeah, Charlie already took care of it. So it's in Dropbox. Should you have any questions, kind of give us an update, status and so forth.
If you don't mind, I just want to add one thing, let everyone know that Sergeant Miller graduated from the supervisor training and education program, which was 3 months.
3 week, it's 1 week a
3
month.
1
Yeah,
week a month for 3 months, yeah, so she and Mr. Charles and I went to the graduation, so just wanted to give him kudos for all of his hard work on that.
yes.
Good. Madam Administrator.
Yeah, I don't have any updates on the Linworth improvements. Just as a reminder, the holiday party will be December 16th here at the Township Hall. We have part of the caterer that we've used the past several years. These are pretty darn good. We had the staff insurance meeting this last Friday, and you should each at your seats have your packets with the new information. The job packet from Burnham and Flowers is double checking, but she expects that we'll just continue to use our current cards. If that said, if your HRA card has an expiration date, everybody's a little different. You'll be getting a new one. Let's see here. The Ohio K-12 school safety grant program through the state of Ohio. Shelley.
Yes. So the grant program that paid for the cameras for Brookside and Worthington Hills is open again. I know we've been having conversations with the IT folks over at Worthington School District. And I just wanted to keep this in mind as we're continuing to have these conversations. If there is anything else that in our 2 elementary schools that is necessary, whether that's EPOP technology or anything such as that. So, I mean, I leave it to you and Chief Cicero to kind of figure that out, that you're having those conversations.
I apologize. Say that one more time. I'm so sorry.
When you're having the conversations with Jeff,
Yes,
Yeah, but
if you'll keep in mind, if there's more money out there
got it.
to go get, is there something else that they all need at our 2 elementary schools? Whether that's facilities, it's basically facilities, but beyond the cameras, is there something else that administration would like to have that we could maybe write support letters for and encourage them to go after that money?
We had a meeting with Jeff last week. And I've got him and Umad together to work out logistics. So
let's see, the portage project, the reason I have this on here, this is some of the homes on West Case and Northport. Back to the township, there are other homes that were already in our township. With our agreement with the city of Columbus, they should be able to get water and sewer. Columbus installed new sewer lines, and residents were getting letters that they have to tap in. The Columbus letter says within 90 days. The folks that are in our township that got letters from the county says a year. There were a couple different homes that were actually back in the township that got letters from the city of Columbus, and we shouldn't have gotten them from the city. So I've been in contact with Franklin County Sanitary. They're gonna be sending letters out after the first of the year, but what I would like to do is anybody who falls into that scope, there on West Case and Northport, if we could just send a brief letter out, just kind of clarifying everything. And let them know exactly who the contacts are when it comes time for them to have to tap in. We did double check with Jim Huber over the attorney's office, and under Ohio Revised Code, they don't have a choice, they do have to tap in. Another thing is, we've discussed it, is potentially expanding the tap-in fee reimbursement program to also be a loan program similar hopefully to Columbus's, to kind of help with the cost, with what the difference is. I think Columbus gives people 99 years to pay it back. I don't think the township's in a position to do that, but to at least be able to give folks options. And I have a meeting with Jen on Wednesday to go over that, in which Steve Renner from the sanitary engineer's office has provided us some information that they use. Unfortunately, because it's a Columbus project, the county cannot help fund things, so.
So we'd like to come to the board at the next meeting with a draft of a revision to the tap-in fee program, to add a loan program for the frontage expenses. But this is not whereas a tap-in fee was here's your money, here's your check. This is a loan that would somehow go along with the property. Because such programs exist, the county auditor is set up to put this on their bill and then return that money to the township. But you're gonna have to come up with what does the term look like? You're first gonna ask, well, what's the universe that we're dealing with? What's our exposure? And that's something that we're going to have to talk to you about. It is a certain number of residents that fall in this category. It is all from the Columbus agreement, obviously. And the fact that they are putting in that infrastructure in that area, which is forcing residents to tap in if they do not already have. If they have well and septic, they're forcing them to obviously get on a municipal system. And if it is available, whether you're in Columbus or the county, they're forcing you to do that. Now, Columbus is a little bit more stingy as far as when they're asking you to do it, where the county's kind of like, well, you kind of got a year, we'll kind of work with you kind of thing, which is the approach that we like. But at the end of the day, they have to tap in at some point in time. Again, this would go with that property, and this would be a loan to them. And so most likely a zero interest loan, but it's something that we can all talk about. First and foremost, we want to kind of give you the numbers about the exposure over time. And this is not something that we don't anticipate a long line of people coming in the door all of a sudden and asking for this, but we want that option to be available so we don't lose them. One, because they still, in some cases, have the option. They're in the pink area where they have the option to go to Columbus or go to the township. Columbus already has this program. We're just trying to match the programs. So we're gonna have something before you in a couple of weeks. To have
And
start a
with that, will it
conversation.
include kind of which portion have the opportunity, how much of this, what these folks have the opportunity to go back if they chose to opt out? And how many are tied to the city of Columbus timeframe? You said instead of Franklin County, are they all gonna go?
Well,
to
we're not gonna
Franklin
have to
County?
worry about.
Right.
So we get to
It's just like
clarify
the
that.
office ended up sending some of our police letters.
That's what her,
Okay.
that's what her letter
Gotcha.
will clarify.
All right.
So I'll start drafting something up for you all to take a look at. I can tell you that in the entire township, there's a total of 34 homes. There's 14 in total on Northport in this case. So, and some of those were homes that detached and came back in, but the majority of those were those pink homes that if they wanted to get water and sewer, they could. Columbus has just pushed up that timeline considerably for a lot of people. That helps.
So it's just the 14 homes that are over in that area. You're not talking about the total number of.
Correct.
So is it the same cap or is it the same fee for each one of those homes, or is it gonna be different?
It's gonna fit, the number's gonna vary a little bit depending on their frontage.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just like, can we get a spreadsheet that says, here's the address? Here's what their fee would be.
For the frontage.
Yeah, for the frontage, assuming that they're gonna take advantage of what, and then are they in pink? Are they already detached? You know, like. It's just so we can kind of look across it and understand,
I think
you
that's
know,
important.
each
Yeah.
individual one
I
would be
think
good.
I could probably get a hold of Ryan Stowe and
Right.
give him those addresses, so we'd have some really good numbers.
Good
to
numbers
work
from the
with.
county sanitary.
So I'll do that.
And if they decide, okay, I'm gonna tap, or I'm gonna, you know, I've gotta do this. I'm assuming Columbus wants their money for that right then and there, or is it we could pay you over time?
There's a process, they want their money. It's likely right now,
Okay,
right now, yeah.
They have a program available for their residents, not ours.
okay. Yeah, it'd be helpful to kind of understand the whole, you know,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
We
Yeah.
pretty much, we're hoping to achieve is somewhere in the middle between what Columbus has and the county has, in the sense that I think the county's program is really forgiving in the sense that it almost goes away, and I don't think we don't have the $1 billion budget that the county. does.
Right.
So we have to find a very fine pathway here, that something that we are able to afford, but also give them some options and financial options. Because it is a hardship. It's an infrastructure that, you know, the city put down. Now they're kind of stuck. It's not something they planned for.
But if they're in the township, or even if they're in the pink area, we're giving them a year.
That's what the county's.
The county's giving
They have a
them
year to
Yeah.
do it, so so it's not like, hey, these residents are gonna have 3 months, and these residents have, you know, it's, everybody's gonna live
Gotta
in the
have a
same.
year. Yeah,
Alright.
got a year to make
Yeah.
some
So we
decisions.
can. And I did talk to the auditor's office, and we can set something up for taxes to be assessed.
Okay.
Their property taxes. Okay, so hopefully I'll have everything. If you think of any other questions in between times, let me know, and I'll get that information for you as well.
Okay.
That is all I have.
Fiscal officer,
Request a motion for approval of payment to the city of Worthington for fire and EMS services, a total of $154,418.15.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Vote,
yes.
yes.
Request a motion also for approval of payment to the city of Upper Arlington for fire EMS for $45,840.94.
I'll also make that motion.
Second,
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
And request a motion for approval of payroll and disbursements.
I'll make that motion.
second,
Vote, yes. Anything else for good of the cause? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
oh, this road. Second,
Vote,
Yes.
yes.
yes. Adjourn, thanks.